Hi
Hey,
there.
hey, man.
How are
How's it
you?
going?
Where are
Good,
you
how are
currently
you?
at, Brandon? Are you at home, of course?
Yeah, Utah.
Okay, Utah. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was Utah or Vegas. I always get it mixed up where your
I'm
studio
from
is, but
Vegas. Yeah, recently moved to Utah.
okay. How is it out there? I love the state. I've been hiking out there to the parks, but I haven't stayed a long time.
I mean, it's beautiful right now.
I bet you
Sandy loves Moab. That's her hike.
love,
So,
it.
oh yeah,
I do love
it's
Moab.
it's incredible. I mean, some of those parks are just it's incredible.
Yeah.
Sure, sure.
Last
Now,
year for my birthday, I was in Moab, and yesterday was my birthday, and I was on my couch. So hey, don't we love 2020? So tell us, Brandon, how are you doing with everything? I know you have a new album you've been working on, and the date, got pushed back because of all this. The new album is Imploding the Mirage, which I love the title. I want to know everything about like how that title came to be, how you are personally right now. Are you going nuts? Everything.
yeah, it's kind of it's my take on leaving Las Vegas, imploding the Mirage.
Oh, how funny.
Yeah, so we grew up. It's a strange thing, it's a strange place. We kind of are. You don't get too attached to some of these landmarks because they blow them up, and then they put things, they replace them with bigger and better ones.
Right, right.
And my idea behind it was that I was going to replace this, maybe this romanticized version of this place with something eternal and with a mountain instead of another casino, I guess
Right.
is how you.
So you're speaking specifically of the casino. I
No,
thought this was a grander metaphor
it
for
is. Yeah, no, no,
the
no. It
world.
is.
Both, it's
It's
both.
a metaphor. It's a metaphor. I'm not just talking
Okay,
about.
the double metaphor. I'm trying to keep
Yeah,
up. I like it. How are you and the family spending time in quarantine?
we're doing it. No problems.
Yeah,
Spending a lot of time together. A lot of. I mean, we kind of implemented a lot of routines before this that have made it easy to just slide into this.
sure. That was
Yeah.
going to be my next question. One of my favorite memes is you don't realize how much of a homebody you are till a pandemic happens and your life really doesn't change that much. So one of the things that I love about you personally is that, I don't know, at some point I read you just decided not to try to be a rock star. So when daddy's not working, daddy's just home with the boys, right?
That's right.
And
Yeah, it's
so,
very. Yeah, when I'm home, I'm all in. So I think that's like you said. I think that made it a lot easier to
sure.
transition into this life because this is what my life is like when I'm home anyway.
Yeah.
Right. And now it's just for a longer amount of time. Did you have a tour that was scheduled to start now or
I
before?
should be. Yeah, I should be in England. I was meant to be in England now, on tour. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's all, we're pushing it all back a year, and fingers crossed, somebody comes up with a vaccine or some miracle. Yeah.
Right.
I
How have you
remember, oh, go ahead, Sandy, go ahead.
how have you because this is such an emotional thing for people, and you're an artist, and the energy of the crowds, you get energy
Mhm.
from that, and you get energy
Yeah.
from your bandmates, your friends. How has that been for you, not being able to have that kind of connection? Are you still being able to do it online, or does it feel like a bit of an emptiness and all?
It's different. I'm addicted to the stage now. I was reluctant at first, but it's something that I've grown to, it's a part of my identity now.
Yeah.
And so I'm a little nervous if it doesn't ever go back to being the way that it was. I just am keeping hope alive for, like I said before, a vaccine or something like that. But yeah, I
Yeah,
don't quite get it. You can't get that feeling from anywhere else.
yeah,
No, I totally understand. I'm a comedian, so the crowds aren't as big as at a concert, obviously, but it's still there. The energy, you
Yeah,
get something from that, and it feels
sure.
good. It gives you life.
Yeah,
it
I
reminds me of
definitely.
one of the coolest events that I ever put together and you guys performed at, which was, I'm going to take you all the way back to probably 2005, performing at the top of the Space Needle. I don't know if you remember that at all, but it was really raw and really broken down, and I think you guys were opening for U2 on that tour, if my memory
That's
serves
right.
me. But
Yeah.
man, you're just always such a showman, and it didn't matter if you were playing, in that case, Key Arena, in front of 20,000 or playing at the top of the Space Needle for 20 people. You guys put it all out there, and I always respected and appreciated that.
Oh, thanks.
And I'm looking forward to the new music because my family and I are quarantined. We actually took a trip to Palm Springs and just decided not to come home for a few extra days. So I was out at the pool yesterday listening to Caution, the new song, for the first time, and it was perfect. It was the perfect mood for a pool at Palm Springs. All that was missing was the party and other people. So, is that indicative of the sound of the album, or does it kind of ebb and flow?
Yeah, no, it's a little bit more of an up-tempo album.
Yeah,
and
I dig it.
And there's some. I'm really excited for people to hear the whole thing. But yeah, Caution was kind of the perfect song to lead with and be the face for the record for now.
Yeah, I did a couple cannonballs to it just in your honor. Is there a particular song that people should look out for that maybe you kind of babied more than others?
Yeah, I mean, some of them you spend maybe too much time on, but My Own Soul's Warning, and there's a song called Blowback.
Okay.
Also that we're really, really thrilled with how they turned out, and I'm excited for people to hear them. I'm excited to play them for people one day.
Yeah, and you will. I believe you will. I think it's just going to take a lot longer than we all thought it would, but there's no way we can't have the connections that we had before. That's what we live for, you know?
Yeah, it's
funny.
I mean,
out Friday too, so just FYI, keep that in mind.
Oh yeah, it was supposed to be out Friday.
No,
not coming out Friday. Oh, forgive me.
No, it's all right. It's going to be in July sometime.
Okay.
that's not too far off. Do you find yourself in a weird abyss of forgetting the days, forgetting what, like, you're wearing normal clothes today, but like, do you ever want to just be in pajamas all day?
I'm not a pajama guy.
Oh, really?
I'm not the only one. Perfect.
I don't spend time barefoot either. I go from the bed. I put my socks and my jeans and my boots on right away.
Oh, good for you. That probably keeps you in a routine, or at least feeling sort of normal.
Yeah, before I even brush my teeth.
Oh, wow. How about your family? How are they doing?
They're doing good. We've been really lucky. Our kids are. I feel a little embarrassed to say, or I don't. They enjoy it. They like being with us. They're not feeling much anxiety, and they are.
That's good.
They like the time, and so it's been really kind of positive. But my heart goes out to people that in a big city that are having a harder time, getting outside and all of that, because we're out in nature and with a little bit of space.
Yeah. So you're in Utah. I know every state is in a different phase right now. Are you guys? Is it dine in yet, or what's open right now?
Within the next week. It looks like they're going to start having dine in.
Okay.
I'm gonna let that ride for a little bit. Maybe. I don't know.
They barely started it here too, and we're feeling the same way. Like the idea excites me, but I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll just one more week of Uber Eats, and I'll see how I feel.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of really fun stories I would love for you to recount online, and I don't normally look at other questions that other interviewers ask, but these were great. Can you talk about the first time that you played in front of a live audience, and it was at that club, the Boston's was it in Vegas?
Yeah.
I think Sandy will appreciate the story because we have a shared love for strip clubs. So.
Well, and I just love Vegas. I'm one of those people that's like checking Twitter for like when the casinos are open. I'm sorry. I hate to be one of those, but I am.
It was just, we used to it would be local band night, and you would just get on the bill, and it was kind of first come, first serve. Whenever you could get, pencil in a spot on this paper, and you just load your stuff up. But I think I was recounting a memory I had of a run-in with another.
To push you out of your slot.
Yeah, it was a run-in with another singer, and his excuse was that he had to pick up his girlfriend from her. She was finishing stripping, and her shift was going to be over at a certain time, and so that was why that they should be playing now. And
what a Vegas excuse too, by the way.
So Las Vegas. He actually pulled out a screwdriver and threatened me with the screwdriver. So those were early. It was very, very rock and roll.
Yeah.
Punk
wow,
rock
that is very rock and roll though.
It was very like
Yeah,
West Side Story. The band comes to your rescue. I mean, I just
yeah, yeah. It was, you felt like the band was, they became a gang.
right.
That was when you start creating those bonds.
And do you consider yourself as having started as like a front man, as a rock and roll guy, kind of late in life? Because like 19, right? Does that sound right?
Yeah, 19. Yeah, definitely. A lot of people, start a little bit earlier, but I guess I was a little bit late to the game.
Can you
Wasn't sure
learn
that I
how to
wanted.
do that, or do you have to have a thing? Can you learn how to be a rock and roll star?
I think that I had a sneaky suspicion my whole life that it was in there, but it wasn't until it took a lot of practice. Though it took a lot of practice. Some people it comes easier to.
Yeah. Did you have any kind of stage fright, or a lot of performers have anxiety? Did you ever go through any of that, or did it feel more natural?
No, it was very, very a lot of anxiety.
Really?
Yes, for years and years, and I think it's because I love it so. I love so many bands, and I am such an admirer of frontmen, and so for me to say, oh, I'm going to do what Morrissey or Mick Jagger or Dave Gahan or whoever it is does, Frank Sinatra, it's like what business do I have stepping up to a microphone and doing that? It took me a long time to overcome that.
Yeah,
Right.
that's hard. Does it just come with performing more, or having the right influences in your life, therapists, friends?
No, yeah, I think it came with time and yeah, just a lot of we played a lot of shows now, and I'm starting to feel confident and like I belong up there,
Good.
and I'm loving it.
Good. How is it being in Utah? Do people recognize you?
A little bit, but I've never had any you know terrible exchanges with people. I don't mind taking pictures with people, and yeah, for the most part, people are polite and nice, and it's a
Yeah.
nice experience.
When
Yeah.
did you guys move out there?
Almost 3 years ago.
Okay. So going back to Vegas, would it feel weird? Like performing there is probably still awesome, but does it feel like you're coming home, or is it just like, do you have a different life in Utah and it's just kind of surreal?
No, I mean it's my home. It's Las Vegas. Still has my piece of my heart's always going to be there.
Sure.
And so it's still very familiar to me. If I go back and freeway exits change and things like that, that's the kind of stuff that it weirdly like hurts my heart.
Yeah.
Where I used to be so familiar with it, like these were my streets,
Right,
and
right.
I know the back entrances and to places, and I know the ins and outs and the nooks and crannies, and it's weird when those things change, or you go back in a restaurant you used to go to, just not there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Weird
and
things like that.
new buildings always keep popping up, and the strip keeps expanding, and it's just probably
Yeah.
now the new Coliseum. It's just everything keeps growing. It's probably hard to keep up with.
Are you a Raider fan on any level?
Oh, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Oh. I don't know why.
We were told to ask that. We were told to ask that.
All embrace, we all embrace, we spent our whole lives embracing other teams because we weren't allowed to have,
right.
professional sports.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have cousins who are die hard like Broncos fans,
Oh,
or
that's
die
wild.
hard
Yeah.
or die hard Cowboys fans, or and it's because you have to decide who your team is. Or we would follow college stars to what town they went to. So I was a huge Charlotte Hornets fan because Larry Johnson went to UNLV and he went to
right.
Charlotte.
Sure.
So little things like that. Those are weird things that
Yeah.
are very Vegas too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you remember the first time you really felt like a rock star, or maybe a moment in your career that you're like, I can't believe this is happening right now? I'm sitting next to Beyonce and Jay-Z watching a Hornets game, or something like that.
It
Or a
was
moment on stage, or a fan interaction.
yeah. I think it was more getting acknowledged. I'll tell you this. Do you know Oasis?
Sure.
Yeah. So I was a big Oasis fan. They were one of the bands that really gave me hope and lit a fire in me. And we were playing in London on our first album, and Noel was there, Noel Gallagher, the songwriter for Oasis. And you're never prepared to be, that close to someone that is such a hero for you or an idol for you. And he was so great and was so nice, and he's kind of infamous for not being nice
Right.
to people. And he was talking to me about the song we have called All These Things That I've Done, and how he sat down and learned it, and he couldn't believe how simple it was. And it was only a year before that I was learning, sitting on my bed and learning, his songs and trying to copy him. And to have that come full circle like that it happened too fast maybe, but it was incredible.
That must have been a moment you probably had to take a break and be like,
Yeah.
this in. Now
Yeah,
you have
it was wild.
three boys. Your oldest is 13, maybe?
Almost 13, yeah.
Okay. Does daddy being famous embarrass them, or do they think it's pretty amazing?
We don't downplay it, but we don't necessarily glamorize it or anything. And
Right.
to them, it's just my job, and they're aware. They know about what's going on. But he's the only one that's made it through an entire concert. The other two fall asleep, and so it's still a couple more years, I think, till they're all going to be really cognizant of what's going on.
What
Do
is
you
it
remember?
like? You have a teenager, so like, is it weird seeing like little bits of yourself in him? Like, is there personality traits that are similar that you're like, oh God, I wasn't ready for this?
I think it's funny how it's helped me with my wife, because she sees that some of the quirks that I have are just born into me.
Yeah.
As you can see, you see it in them. There's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do about it. So,
sorry, babe, this is what you get.
I know we got to wrap. I want to end with a great love story. Can you tell me about the first time that you met your wife? I think the thrift shop story is a solid one.
Sure. Yeah. We were at a thrift store. It's called Buffalo Exchange in Las Vegas.
How long ago was it?
So this was 2001, and me and Dave, our guitar player, we were looking for clothes for our very first gig as the Killers, and it was just a place that she went to all the time, and she happened to be in there at the same time as me, and gave me her phone number, and she was the brave one. I wasn't picking up on
the vibes.
I was just too nervous, and she just handed me her phone number and uncovered her mouth and just kind of walked out, and that was it. And then you go through that whole thing, like, how soon is it till I need to call her? And
so you guys didn't talk at all in the store?
Only she asked if I went to gigs, and she thought she recognized me from a show or something, but I hadn't been to any indie shows at that point. Anyhow, I called her. I bit the bullet, and I called her that night. And
oh God, I love it. You really wanted to talk to her.
and it all worked out.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
That's great.
And what a unique story. You never hear that anymore. You never hear in-person meetings and just something like that. Like, how cute. And is that store still around? I used to go there.
Buffalo Exchange?
Yeah.
I
think there's a few in San Francisco.
Yeah.
It's a weed store now.
Oh.
Is it really?
Everybody's got to make the money.
It's a dispensary.
I love that. I fully expected you to tell me that you pulled the Freddie Mercury move and was like showing her the stretchy bedazzled pants and asking her. She thought they would look good. You remember what kind of outfit you walked out with that day as your first rock and roll outfit?
I did get, like, for $1.50 or something. I got a sort of gold shimmering blazer.
Badass.
Me and Dave used to share it. We used to both wear that jacket.
That's awesome.
That's rad. Well, dude, we look forward to seeing you on tour, Brandon, for sure. And stay safe out there. And we're looking forward to the new album. The new song is called Caution. It's awesome party jam. One-man pool jam. I love it. The album is called Imploding the Mirage, and it'll be out in July, you said, right?
Yes.
Excellent. Dude, thanks for taking time. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
so much, Brandon.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Take care.
Bye.
See ya.